Monday marks 75 years since Thermo Fisher Scientific opened the doors to its Rockford site. It also marks the first time a U.S. lawmaker from the state line walked through its doors to visit the location. Congressman LaHood participated in a meet and greet event with employees at the Rockford site, as well as touring the facility. The Rockford location helps Thermo Fisher in protein analysis and creating antibody products. LaHood says part of his visit was to see how national policies like President Trump's sweeping tariffs are affecting local companies who do business internationally.
It's clear as I walk through the plant here today on how intertwined Thermo Fisher and the products they produce are with their other facilities, but also their customers that are global. The sooner in this 90-day window that we're currently in that we can negotiate bringing down the tariffs on our allies will be helpful to companies like Thermo Fisher.